Hey guys, it's Dr. Ryan, and today we're talking with David. David's been a patient of the clinic for a couple of months now, and he's going to talk a little bit about his experience working with myself and SummaUp. So, David, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, some of your hobbies.
David White, grew up in San Diego, so I've got thin Californian, Southern Californian blood, which I brag about. I like warmth. I currently live in Utah, which is not so warm for like 8 months of the year, but very much enjoying it. I work at LinkedIn. I've been at LinkedIn for 11 years. I lead people analytics and compensation and HR M&A there. Yeah, I've got a wife, three boys, three
Wow.
dogs, and just always busy with all of the above. So,
Very cool. Very cool. So, David, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience prior to joining SummaUp, some of the problems that you were experiencing, particularly in terms of your health and longevity? What were you trying to solve?
where do I start? So, I've been looking for really what triggered it is I'd been looking for something that wasn't just a doctor, right? That wasn't just a workout. That wasn't just, it felt like each of the things I was solving for were, were separate pieces. And so when I really started looking, probably in October of last year, when I just said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to find the right person, the right place. I literally spent like 3 months researching, looking online, reading online, like asking people. And I found SummaUp, and it felt, from the beginning, it felt right. Of course, I started really researching deeper and deeper, had some meetings, had some with you, Dr. Ryan, and a couple others, and just asked a ton of questions. And it was very, very clear to me at that point that this was the right path. So from a health perspective, I think I've always been, I played Division I tennis. I've always been, fairly athletic. I try to take care of myself. I care about what I look like. I want to, I want to feel good. I've got a lot of health issues in my family from both sides of my parents. And really what it came down to for me was, I was like, freedom. What is freedom? And long-term freedom for me is health plus wealth. So really focusing on that health side somewhat became a perfect answer, because it's not attacking one problem, one symptom, one issue. It's how do you do what you need to do so you can have that freedom, that long-term freedom. And so, from there, of course, contacted you and your team, and the rest is history.
Well, that's really good, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. I think in life we're always looking for like a holistic solution rather than trying to have to get things piecemeal. It'd be great to go to one place and have essentially a one-stop shop for your health, and that's kind of what the clinic and myself have endeavored to do. Just provide diet, exercise, supplements, and medications under one roof, and with the idea that we can extend your timeline, extend how long you'll be able to enjoy the things that you work so hard to obtain, right? And so, very good. So why don't we kind of transition over a little bit then into some of the changes that you experienced after joining the clinic. And before we do that, I'm just going to brag on you a little bit. You've made some incredible changes just in the span of a few months. We can see that with your lab values here. Your apolipoprotein B, which is 110, dropped to 88, which was really awesome. Your total cholesterol dropped almost 20 points. And your LDL dropped 20 points as well, which is really, really good. In addition, your hemoglobin A1C, which was not bad to start with, 5.3, became phenomenal at 4.8. And so it was really, really good to see a lot of these changes so quickly. In addition, aesthetics was important, and you wanted to reduce, your subcutaneous body fat. You've made really amazing progress with our Lean for Life program. We've lost close to almost 15 pounds, right? Which is really,
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
And what's most evident is in the pictures, because it's primarily from fat. This is what you looked like when you started. And then right now it's like night and day. You've gotten much more leaner. And the thing is, we're not done. We still got a little bit to go, and we're just keeping on going. But just within that short time period, you've made tremendous progress. So outside of just some of the changes in your lab values and in your physique, what did you notice personally?
Oof, where do I start? So I think I can follow programs pretty well. And you and I talked about this, Dr. Ryan. One of the things that I want to make sure we do talk a little bit about is Lean for Life, the kind of the very prescriptive nature of it. And the beauty for me is it's prescriptive but flexible, right? Because you've got the team working on it, and I'll be like, yo, I can't, like, I want this to be my life. I don't want this to be a program that I'm on for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. Like, this has to be how I operate. And the team is, I mean, on the app is so good. I'll push back. They push back. They're like, nope, you do this, think about this, do it this way. Here's some cool recipes that you may really like. It really is a game changer. And so that, from that perspective, just in my life, it's so much easier because, like, I know what I'm going to eat. I know what I'm going to do. I don't miss the workouts. And so integration was big for me. So that piece is a big game changer. For in other parts of my life, when you're out at someone's house and everyone's like, let's go get in the pool. And you're like, no, thank you. You know what I mean? That's completely changed, right? Because you're just like, you're the confidence in just how you operate, how you think about, like, your body image, etc., changes. And then for me, another big one is I've got 3 sons, 22, 20, and 16. And, we're out now playing basketball a lot, 2v2, and their comments are like, yo, and they call me Pa. Like, what? Like, you're way faster, way quicker. Like, I'm arguably the best of the 4 now. That wasn't true a year ago. So yeah, it's in that sense, between confidence, the prescriptive nature and flexible kind of piece of it, the confidence, build, and then the just how you live your life, be able to go out and have fun and feel great after. Before I could play basketball, Dr. Ryan, and then I was like done for 3 days, and now it's you play and you're ready to roll. So it's amazing.
When you think about just changing your medication regimen, supplements, your diet and exercise can provide such a huge benefit. And a lot of people, they just, take getting older for granted. They take, the low energy levels, the decreased interest in activities that gave them a lot of pleasure and in a prior life, decreased muscle mass, poor aesthetics, and maybe just decreased willingness to go out there. As you mentioned, being able to take your shirt off at swimming pool is key, but just on a more basic level, just wanting to go out and talk to people, right? If you're not comfortable with who you are, that aspect kind of dies down. And for a lot of us as human beings, community is really important, and if you take that away, it's really, really troublesome. So yeah, I'm really glad that you noticed that. And so you did talk a little bit about some of the changes you saw, and obviously in terms of your health and with your family, but did you notice any changes in terms of your career? Did you notice interactions with the people under you, with people that report to you, with customers? Did you notice anything different, comments that were directed towards you, or how you interacted, or your energy levels throughout the day?
Yeah. So big one for me is energy levels throughout the day. I mean, completely different. I actually, you can't see it here, but I've got a hammock behind me. I don't use it that much anymore, just because as much as I like to relax and, it's just not needed. You just feel different. It's a completely different feeling. And you kind of mentioned this as well. It's a confidence piece, right? It's a confidence with, I feel better. I feel clearer. And, your brain fog goes away. You feel clear. You're sleeping better. So you approach the day differently. And when you approach the day differently, your confidence is different. You engage differently with your colleagues and your teams. And you just really, if I boil it down to one sentence, it's like you just get more done through the day because you can stay on it. right, throughout the day. And so that brings all of those other benefits along with it.
I don't know if you're familiar with Brian Tracy. He's a huge motivational speaker, business consultant, but he had this idea, or that's been evoked by a lot of individuals, a lot of consultants, where if you can just push through and make every day, like, give every day your best effort, eventually you'll succeed in great magnitudes. It'll be something that's almost guaranteed. But it's just, when you don't have the energy reserves to give your very best and you recognize that, it's so frustrating. I'm glad that, you kind of talked about that, because like taking a nap, I mean, listen, we all need to take some rest here and there, but if that's like a requisite for your day, it's just, that's not good, right? You want to be as productive as possible. So it's really important to, it can be a number of different things: mineral, vitamin deficiencies, hormonal issues, just your diet. So investigating that and then improving it is really key. So I'm glad that's changed a lot. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it really, and again, I think the way you think about it, before you may go, you're on Instagram, flipping through, and you're like, gosh, I should take that vitamin because that seems good. And then you get another one and another one. And by the end of the day, you have a million vitamins in your cabinet. You don't know which ones you should take, shouldn't take. And this approach, like you just said, the vitamins plus the hormones plus the exercise and food, that holistic approach, that's the game changer. It really is.
I'm glad that you're living the experience, and I've done it for several patients, and I'm glad that you're one more, the plus one. It's awesome. Okay, so David, what would you tell someone who's watching this video now and is unsure about joining the clinic? What would you tell that person?
I would tell them, do your research like I did. For me, this, not only when you look at it, again, the holistic view, the holistic approach, the beauty for me is also having Dr. Ryan and team essentially on text message via the Trainerize app. So I can be like, hey, what about this? And you get responses pretty freaking quickly, honestly. Like that holistic approach, even to that piece, is really, really, it's worth a shot. And so as much as I researched, as much all of the other kind of opportunities, different places you could look at, different things you can do, this one for me was very specifically it hit every single one of what I was looking for. And I'll add to this as well. A lot of us are thinking about ourselves and how we are feeling through the day and what we look like. But what I probably didn't think about before, Dr. Ryan, was how it affects your family. I'm eating differently. Therefore, I've got my water bottle sitting here. All of my sons now have their water bottles, right? Because they saw it. The food is slowly changing in my house because they see it. When we're out playing basketball and they're like, holy cow, what's going on? My wife, same thing. She's like, okay, I'm going to start kind of eating more like you. I'm trying to, at some point, she's going to be talking to you directly, Dr. Ryan. It's going to happen. Okay. But you start to see that change as well in your family because it becomes part of how you live. And so I would just say, take the leap, make it happen. Like, don't think about it past the point of research. Just do it and really prioritize you and your health and your family going forward. You will not regret it. 100%.
Oh, well, thanks so much for that, David. I really am very thankful that you saw such value in the program.
I'm thankful for you, honestly, and team. Seriously, I really mean it. It's a life-changing event. So I feel super lucky.
Great. Well, again, thanks again for sharing your experience, and I'm really happy. And I know that we're going to continue to provide great service and get you to that ideal performance state. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.